Welcome to Smarttips. I am your host, Solomon Smartt. I'm so excited for this Smarttips. I have an incredible guest on today. She was on before. She was on Mommy Tips. Now she's on Smarttips about being an entrepreneur. This is my wife, Dawn Smartt. I'm so excited to have her on. She has a business that is about sharing positivity, and she does it through design on a t-shirt we have on here. Happiness is a vibe. She has so many more t-shirts, and she'll talk more about that. But let's get into it. Your business is called Goodisms.
Yes.
So what is Goodisms about, and why did you decide to start it?
Goodisms, well, the definition of Goodisms is comprised of two parts. The word good, everybody knows what the word good is, and ism. And an ism is a definitive practice or philosophy. So I wanted to join the two words of a good practice or a good philosophy. And the reasoning behind my designs is to exude good, exude positivity. So that's the definition of Goodisms. And the reason I decided to start it was it goes back to our college days when I used to hand make my own shirts. So I would design my shirts and I would hand cut them with an X-Acto knife, like really precisely. I'd lay it out on shirts and then I'd roll it out with fabric ink, and then that's how I'd make my shirts. But I've always wanted to make a t-shirt company, but I thought doing it that way just took way too long. So that never came to fruition. Years later, I discovered calligraphy on Instagram and this whole calligraphy community, and I never knew existed. But when you watch those videos, it's very positive and it gives like really flowy, smooth feeling. And knowing me, I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do that. I'm going to figure it out. So I spent about a year learning calligraphy. And then after our son was born, the state of the world was kind of in disarray with the injustice of colored people and politics. And so there's so much negativity that was pushed in our faces all the time. And I really didn't like that, especially having it exposed to our son. So I thought, what a perfect way to combine my love of t-shirts, my love of calligraphy, and trying to exude like a positive message for everybody. And that's pretty much why I created Goodisms. So if somebody's wearing a Goodism shirt that has a positive message on it, somebody can see it from across the room and say, oh, you know, that's great. That's a positive message. Or that makes me feel great. And there is this unsaid communication of positivity between two people by just wearing one of my shirts.
Awesome. I think that's a great idea to be able to spread that type of joy and message to the community. So that's awesome. So I'd like to also ask you this. So where does your inspiration for design actually come from?
So this starts way, way back. I'm Black and Filipino. Shout out to the biracial, multi-ethnic people out there. So she's an artist, and so she taught my sister how to do art, how to draw. And so my sister drew a lot growing up, and so I kind of got inspiration to do art from her. And that's where my creativity sort of stemmed from, and my inspiration just comes from everywhere. It comes from how I feel in the morning. It comes from things I see on social media. It comes from our conversations. It comes from things I see outside. It comes from pretty much anywhere. And I think growing up and learning how to create something out of nothing has always been innate in me.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of her drawings and a lot of her calligraphy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not that artistic. It's definitely difficult to do. I've seen her do it on the iPad as well as on paper, and what she has come up with is just amazing. So we'll talk about more where to find that stuff as well. But we'd also like to ask you, now, what made you want to become an entrepreneur?
I think I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, to be able to create things. Even as a kid, when I was 6-7 years old, my sister was busy doing her stuff. She's 8 years older than me, so I was kind of playing by myself for most of the time. And so I would create my own board games out of nothing. I just get a sheet of paper and I draw the spaces on the board, and I make my own pieces, and I even taught myself how to program and code when I was 14 years old. So I'm always creating something, and I think just having that passion of doing so just led me into being an entrepreneur.
Awesome. I think that's just to share with you guys out there. I think that's what an entrepreneur actually is. It's somebody who creates. They create jobs. They create ideas. They create things for people to utilize and be able to actually share that with the community and the world, to be able to monetize it sometimes, if that's what it is. Sometimes entrepreneurs are not always the ones who are monetizing things, but they are creators. And I definitely believe when you create, you are an entrepreneur. So that is awesome. I think that is great. Now, what is something that helps you keep such a positive mindset, knowing that Goodisms is so positive, and definitely with these shirts that you create, it has a positive message. So what helps you keep that positive mindset?
I think it's definitely important to, listen to podcasts and watch videos and read books and positivity. Definitely should do that. But I think one thing that I felt worked for me is to help keep negativity out. So we're on our phones, on social media every day, and even around our coworkers. And so there's a lot of negativity that's just in your ear a lot, and sometimes you don't even realize it, and sometimes you just get swept up in the negativity. So I just try to keep the negativity out. There was a point in time where the negativity was getting so bad, it was making me feel bad. Like I was getting headaches and I was grinding my teeth really bad, and I didn't even know I was doing that. And so I decided I'm just going to cut out social media for a month and see how it is. And I did that, and I could literally feel the physical changes of having just positivity around me all the time. And that was a huge game changer and a huge thing that helped me stay positive.
Nice.
And sometimes I'll just have an account where I'm just following positive people. I know who are positive, and they'll just always share positive things with me. So
nice.
That's important.
Nice. I think that is a very good advice. Be able to share or listen to only things that are going to fill your mind with what you want. So you got to remember this, and I've said it before on several different smart tips, and that is whatever you put out, you're going to get back, or whatever you put in, that's what you're going to give out. So putting that positive energy into you, definitely that's what you're going to get out. And I think that's the unsaid thing about Goodisms. Now, what are your goals and what are your visions for Goodisms?
So one of my goals is, you definitely want to grow the business, and a portion of all sales from Goodisms goes to charity. So one of my goals would be just one day just to be able to write like a 4-figure check and just give to charity like every month, to be able to contribute so much more than what I could do with just, ourselves. And knowing that everybody who's purchased a Goodism shirt or has helped Goodisms in some way have also been involved in giving back as well. And a vision, which I don't think I've really shared with you or anybody, is, let's say we all went on a family vacation to Florida to Disney World, and we're in line for a ride or to buy food, and next to me I see somebody wearing a Goodism shirt. Like that would be awesome in itself, to say, oh wow, you're actually wearing one of my shirts, that's so cool. But also to see like somebody walk up to them like, oh, I love your shirt, like where did you get it? And then that person like, oh yeah, I got it from Goodisms.com, and then they're just having this positive interaction from just seeing my shirt. I think that's kind of the goal of Goodisms, is to create positive interactions between people. Like that's the whole reason I created it. So
awesome. So I just say that, and I think I've said this before, is that Smarttips is about, I've talked about this piece, and that is you want to give back. It's so important to give back. Again, what you put out there, you'll get back, and I think that's super super important. And to have that vision, to be able to see somebody wearing your shirt and you spreading positivity in the world is awesome. And I think that it's invaluable. And I think about, as an entrepreneur, the great thing is to create money for yourself and create an income, but also it's great to be impactful to other people.
Yes.
And have a great influence, a positive influence on them. So that is something I definitely love about what Goodisms does. Next question. What are the platforms that you use to get Goodisms out there?
Okay, currently I have an Instagram account, just Goodisms, Goodisms, and also Facebook, Goodisms on Facebook. And you can also go to goodisms.com. Those are the three major outlets that I use. I might want to get into TikTok. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but I might need to confer with some of my younger cousins on how to, or younger nieces and nephews on how to do that. And I also want to do Twitter eventually. So a lot of social media platforms is where I'm at.
Nice. I think that is the way of the new world, is to get on these platforms where the humans are at, these individuals are at, and share with them exactly what is out there. So also wanted to ask you, what mentors do you take advice from to help you grow your business?
There's two mentors I can think of off the top of my head. One is a woman named E. Grace. She has her own online store, clothing store called By E. Grace. And what I like about her is she is not afraid to help other business owners. She gives a lot of tips on how to grow your business, even like the meticulous things of how to create ads and how to grow your business and what outlets to use. She really is about not just success for herself, but she also wants other people to succeed. And another one I follow is Bianca Renee. She has her own curly hair social media account. And her and her husband do a lot of social media videos, and they have a social media presence. And so they don't necessarily do what I do, but I take a lot of what they do and internalize it and make it into my own. So I take E. Grace's suggestions on how to grow my business, and then I take Bianca's social media advice as well. So I like to take things from other people and make it my own. So it's not just one person. I take it from all kinds of people that I run into.
Right. I think that's is important. And if you think about just giving back, and if you want to be successful, you have to pull somebody else up, right? That's the quickest way to success. Mm-hmm. Pulling somebody else up to success so you can also have success. I think that's a key tip. A key tip besides the one that she's going to give here in a second. But also, what tip or tips do you have for people who are going to start an online business?
So one of the tips I learned from E. Grace, who I talked about before, is don't be afraid to spend money to grow your business. I think for a long time, I couldn't really get my feet off the ground because I'm like, I don't want to spend any more. Like, I've already spent too much money. But I understand that, it is a business and you need to invest in your business. You need to invest in yourself. And so that might take a little bit of, money to do so. Yeah. So don't be afraid to do that. I mean, even if you spending a certain amount of money doesn't result into anything, that's okay, because that's part of the growth process. And I think I was getting over that fear of spending money. I think that's something that was a huge hurdle for me. But I now realize, I've seen results where I've spent money on advertisements and, you get a lot of results back. So I think it's important to know that part of a business, money is going to be involved. And I think it's important for everybody to know that.
Yeah. I think that's a key tip. If you're afraid, go do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I know that that's maybe an oversimplification, but if you think about it, when you are in that fear state, that's when you go do it. Yeah. So that's a great tip. Thank you for that. So where can people support Goodisms and buy a T-shirt from you?
You can go to Facebook, Instagram, or Goodisms.com. You can purchase it. If you go to Instagram, it'll link you directly to Goodisms.com, and Facebook, I believe, does the same thing. So any one of those platforms, you can follow me, like my pictures, comment, and support. And a portion of the proceeds goes to a charity. So I think that's an amazing thing.
Nice. So I'd say that there are plenty of different types of shirts on Goodisms that you can purchase. They're all awesome. They're all amazing. You can purchase for children or adults. I think that's a
Yes.
key thing. They do have onesies there for little babies as well.
Babies need positivity
Babies
too.
need positivity too. Those parents need to be able to look at that and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going through something crazy," but stay positive.
Yes.
So that's where you can go support Goodisms. As always, you guys, thank you for coming on and watching this, and thank you for my guest. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Absolutely. So as always, remember to be humble, grateful, and happy. See you later.